The tunnel. The tunnel was an airy sight. The opening of the tunnel was 5 feet wide, and the passerby might imagine there were fairies flighting about in the dark. There were many strange stories associated with the tunnel, and this made it a perfect spot for adventurous children. But even the bravest of children only dared to go in a short way before running out in fright. It was very old, but no one seemed to know when or why it had been built. There was 4 children in particular who were very curious about this tunnel. They had been planning to explore the tunnel for weeks. Identically, twins Matthew and Michael could hardly sleep because they were so excited about the next day's adventure. Their best friends, Autumn and Audrey, were also identical twins. All 4 of them woke up early the next morning. The boys carried with them a few sandwiches, 2 water bottles, and their jackets in case the tunnel was cold. Most important of all, they took torches with extra batteries. All these things they stuffed into backpacks. The girls made similar preparations. The boys rushed out of the back door, barely remembering to close it. They quickly walked down the country road towards the meeting place. This special place was off the road and was part of a trail about 30 feet into the woods. The old trees in this area had gnarled roots that hid the children from the view of the people traveling on the road. The boys finally arrived at the meeting place. They each sat on a large root and waited. Autumn and Audney arrived at the trail shortly after the boys had sat down. They carefully picked their way over the roots. It wasn't long before all of them were together. Eager, smiling faces greeted each other. Before starting their journey into the tunnel, all 4 children agreed that it would be wise to hold hands and solemnly promise, one for all and all for one. After doing this, they bravely walked towards the opening of the tunnel. Autumn was the first to break the silence. In a voice a little louder than a whisper, he said, "I heard Ma and Pa talking about the tunnel the other day." "What did they say?" asked Matthew. "They said most parents have forbidden their children from playing in this part of the woods," replied Autumn. "Why?" asked Michael. Audrey was silent as she listened. Her heart seemed to beat louder than the voices of the other 3. "Well," continued Autumn, "it seems that about 30 years ago, a man who loved exploring caves decided to find out how long the tunnel is and where it goes." All eyes as large as saucers stared at Autumn. "What happened to him?" asked Michael in a whisper. Pa said that professional trackers with bloodhounds searched the area. They found footprints in the mud on the trail. The dogs picked up his scent and followed it right into the tunnel. Autumn swallowed hard before she continued. "The trackers and the dogs were gone for about 3 hours and they lost the man's scent." "Didn't they find anything that might have belonged to him, like a shoe, a wallet, or maybe his hat?" asked Matthew. "Not a thing," Autumn replied. Finally, Audrey found her voice. "Should we do this?" she whispered. Michael spoke up. "I think we should finally solve this mystery. We have all day." Autumn said, "Let's agree that we shall stick together. It's 7:30 a.m. right now. Let's go through the tunnel until, let's say, 11:30. If we still haven't found the end, we will turn around and come back. That way we will be back by 3:30 p.m. We have told our parents that we will be home by that time." "I like that idea," said Matthew. 3 pairs of eyes looked questioningly at Audrey. "What about you, Audrey?" asked Michael. With wide frightened eyes, she said, I agree. As they stood at the entrance of the tunnel, all four silently stared at one another, then grabbed hold of each other's hand. Matthew turned on his torch, and all of them stepped into the unknown. An extract from The Tunnel by C.H. James.